Let us move along. The star of the evening, of course, we all know who it was. The boy from Philly went in there. He took the fight. We recall him telling us on the program as we were talking about the state of the welterweight division and who Leon should fight next and all this stuff. I remember him texting me while we were doing that, like, hey, don't forget about me. And then he came on the next day and said he wanted the fight, but he didn't get the fight. It was Jack Della Maddalena who got the fight. And then he was kind of at peace with it because he had just become a father welcoming a beautiful girl to this world. And he thought, yeah, you know what? The timing isn't great. But then, what did you know? A funny thing happened. Shavkat Rakhmonov got hurt. Jack Della got moved to Montreal, and they called Sean Brady up. And they said, let's go. This is your opportunity. And boy, did he seize it. He walked into the O2 on Saturday. He went to England, to the UK for the very first time in his life, and he absolutely steamrolled Leon Edwards. One of the most dominant performances that you'll ever see. 4 minutes and 57 seconds of control time in the second round alone, a UFC record. First man to stop Leon, first man to submit Leon Edwards, and now firmly a supremely high contender, a top contender, the toppest of the top contenders in the welterweight division. Let's talk to Sean Brady now about it all. Kind enough to join us. He's back. Sean.
What's up, brother?
Congrats. You survived. Congrats.
We survived. Thank you, man. It was good talking to you yesterday on the plane, but I was like, we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. So
Absolutely.
Here we are.
Can you even describe like I always think like the Monday after a big fight, a big win for an MMA fighter, that you got to be flying, right? Like everything, food's got to taste great, drinks, everything, life has to be good. But the Monday after a big win, when you just became a father and now you can come home, you bet on yourself, you took this fight on short notice. Can you even describe the feelings that are going through you right now, the emotions right now?
Yeah, I really don't even think it hit me fully yet. Me and my wife were just talking about that. It's like it's definitely going to take a couple of days to settle in, but man, the Monday afterwards, I'll tell you, I've only lost once. The Monday afterwards don't feel as good when you're coming off losing the fight. So yeah, winning. I was going for a whole week. I went to London super early just to make sure I got acclimated. So being home last night, got to wake up and feed my daughter a couple of times in the middle of the night, let my wife get some sleep. It's been amazing just being home with them. Yeah, it's all kind of hitting me here and there, but I think I'm still just on cloud nine.
Right back to daddy duties. Yeah, you
Right back.
headlined O2, you beat Leon Edwards,
Yeah.
change them
Now
diapers.
I'm at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
I was talking to my buddy earlier. I'm like, I beat Leon's ass, but I come back home and then I'm right. I get put back in my place. But nah, yeah, it was. She was 6 weeks old yesterday. I got the call 2 days after her being born. So I really didn't have much time and I was gone for an entire week. So I didn't have much time to do anything to really help my wife. Like, yeah, I did some stuff here and there. So I told her 1 whole week, I'll be home, no training, no doing anything. But here I am. I just did another interview and she was holding the baby and she was scarfing down her food. So. But no, it all went great.
We won't keep you too long.
No, you're good.
Can I ask, like, you said all the right things when you took the fight, but obviously you had revealed that, like, hey, you were kind of at peace when you didn't get the opportunity because of the baby and whatnot.
Yeah.
Were there any doubts? Oh, man, biggest fight. This is going on. I'm not 100% ready, short notice. Were you putting on a front at all?
To be honest, no, I wasn't. Yeah, it was definitely like crazy that it happened. I posted a text message that I sent to Lloyd the Tuesday we were getting discharged from the hospital. I texted him and I was literally looking at my daughter and I sent him a picture. I'm like, man, me and Kristen were just talking earlier. There's no way I would have been able to leave her. Like, it's just like I was like, it's so good that this worked out. And then legit 12 hours later or something like that is when he called me and was saying that Jack was hurt and they needed me to fight. So, but yeah, as far as I was getting ready for a fight, I didn't know when I was fighting. So I was more than ready to jump in and have those 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. So I honestly think it worked out really good for me because usually I do these super long, harder training camps and I'm burnt out or hurt by the end of them. This one, I was training very hard, but still taking my Sundays off. Like I wasn't really getting ready for a fight, but I was training my ass off. So it allowed me to just ramp up for the next 4 weeks and go into this fight week feeling great. I had the best weight cut I ever had. I was on weight the night before. Everything was just it was just perfect. Besides London, I'm not a fan of London, but besides London not having big Airbnbs that can keep a lot of people, everything went pretty smooth.
Wait a second. Why aren't you a fan? What happened? That
So
was your
we
first.
had it.
That was your
So
first time,
we
right?
that was the first time.
Okay. What happened?
We stayed. The Fighter Hotel was near the Canary Wharf,
Yep.
so I don't know. But to get London and traffic in London is so bad. I had a nice Airbnb like 45 minutes away that had like 15 bedrooms, a sauna, all this stuff with all this space. But they're like, hey, you're going to be in so much traffic trying to get here. It's going to be miserable. So I had to get a few different small Airbnbs, like 10 minutes from the Canary Wharf, so I could go there and do my media, train, do everything we were doing. And it worked out fine, but the houses we had, like, there, everything over there was just small. Like the Whole Foods, like we're very lucky in America. I don't know. I think we're spoiled, but everything was just small. Like it wasn't a lot of space, and I had 15 people over there with me. I had teammates, coaches, my parents were there, my best friend was there, my camera guy was there. So, but it all worked out great. It was still a smooth week. I wind up checking into a hotel Thursday night just for the night to do my weight cut there, and I woke up and just drove over to the Hilton where it was 5 minutes from there. But besides that, yeah, it was pretty good.
How were the people towards you?
Dude, I'm from Philly. Like
Huh.
I'm expecting to get torched out there. These people are coming up to me. I'm like, is Leon Edwards even from fucking London? Like, where's this guy from? Because these people are being so nice to me. If you're like when Jeremy Stevens was here when he fought
Yeah.
Eddie, I was at the press conference. This man was getting destroyed by everybody. If you were coming to Philly and you were fighting me, you'd be getting roasted on the street. You'd be getting roasted everywhere, probably threatened, to be honest. But I got none of that in London. Everyone was super nice. Even on my walkout, like they're like, it's going to be so bad. They're going to boo you. I'm like, I got in the cage. I'm like, this is nothing. So yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
By the way, you mentioned the people who were there for you, your parents and whatnot. Obviously, your wife wasn't there. When's the
Yeah.
last time she missed a fight?
So I started dating Kristen my last amateur fight. Since my last amateur fight, she never missed a single one of my fights.
Wow. Was that weird for
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, and it was hard. And that was where like putting on the front, like yeah, like, it was definitely like it wasn't the front. Like I knew that was going to be the hardest part of it. But me being a man, I just had to like go through that and know like, hey, like this is part of life. Like you're not always going to be together, and you have to get through things. But yeah, like when you're during fight week, like you get emotional, you're cutting weight, like you're getting ready for this fight, and you want your significant other to be there for you to so you can rely on them, you can lean on them. But she had to stay home with the baby. At one point we were talking about flying her out. Like I was like, all right, like maybe we'll get you in Friday, maybe you'll come in Saturday. And we have a dog that is like very, like he's a Belgian Malinois and he only likes certain people. So like you can't just drop him off at a kennel. And then we have a newborn. So her mom was here helping her, but her mom's older. So like to put a baby on her and a dog, like it would have been a lot.
Hmm.
And then the fucking airport caught on fire Friday night. So
What?
I would have been waking up if she was on a certain flight. They would have diverted her back to Philly. So
Oh gosh.
luckily, it all worked out. She stayed home with the baby. She felt very comfortable watching from. She was like, I have no nerves watching on the TV.
Hmm.
So yeah, it worked out great. But in the moment, I definitely wanted her there. But we knew that was a part of it.
By the way, you mentioned getting emotional as you're weight cutting, and you start. I've talked to enough fighters who say like you start to like assess your life and start thinking
Yeah,
about things.
yeah,
Being a dad now for the first
yep,
time, did that come
yep.
into play?
Yeah, 100%. Even third Friday at the ceremonial weigh-ins, they're playing the UFC. Like the UFC Journey came out and they did a piece on the baby and all that stuff. And I don't watch that stuff before I fight. Like I don't have social media on my phone before I fight. None of that. But they started to play it when I was at the ESPN desk, and I was like, these motherfuckers are about to get me. Like I'm about to cry. But I pulled it back in, and I didn't. And I watched it afterwards, and it was an awesome piece. But yeah, yeah, it gets emotional for sure. Like you said, when you're cutting weight, like it sucks. And then you start thinking about your family, you think about all the sacrifices, especially this, like It was a lot. Leaving her for a month. I mean, essentially leaving her for a month. It felt like it every day. I wake up. I had to eat. I was in my truck, practice, come home, rest, practice, in home, practice. Like 3 times a day, I'm out. I'm getting PT. I'm getting massages. I was in and out of my house for the 5 weeks I was home. I was barely home, but I knew eventually, like doing like the way it couldn't have gone any better. Going into Leon's backyard, shutting up London, shutting down Leon, beating Leon the way no one's ever beat him before. It all the risk was well worth the reward.
I don't want to ask, like, did you expect it to be that easy? Because I think that's disrespectful to you and what you did to get ready and
Yeah,
to Leon. But
yeah,
it was so dominant. It was so
yeah.
one-sided. Was it even more so than you had thought?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show like how good I really am, and then that's where I'm been at now, like believing in my skills. And I knew from the first time I hit him with a foot trip, like I knew I was going to go out there, and I'm like, listen, even if I can't get this guy down, I was like, I'm going to make this a fucking fight. I'm going to win no matter what. I'm going to do whatever I have to do. And I think he underestimated me a lot, thinking I was just going to come out there and try to grapple. Because I remember fucking punching him right in his face right off the beginning, and he made a face. I'm like, yeah, like I'm not here just to hump your leg. And especially when I got him on the ground too, I was hitting him hard, and I just seen him diminish in front of me. And my coaches were telling me the whole time, go forward. They're like, well, I was looking at him in the corner. He already had his head down. We've seen him do that shit before. His coaches are trying to pull those bullshit speeches, and it fucking wasn't working. And I just knew I was going to break him.
5 of 7 takedowns, 221 total strikes landed of 295. He was 23 of 35. Just 23 strikes landed in the entire fight. Significant strikes,
Yeah.
57 of 93 for you, 23 of 35 for him. That was really it. And there was one moment where he shot on you, and you said in the post fight press conference that you heard him like almost talk to himself afterwards.
Yeah. He said something. I'm pretty sure he said fuck, or he said something to his corner because we were right there. He said something, and I was like, why would you do that? Like I know I did it because I was pushing forward on him, and he shot him like he's taken down Usman, he took down Belal, controlled Belal for almost an entire round. He took down Colby, so I don't know if he just thought he was going to try to mix it up, but I knew we game planned for that. Like I knew at one point he was going to shoot, and it was the easiest sprawl I ever hit, and then that just set up the next round.
So in that post-fight press conference, I talked about this earlier. You walked up there and like there was something so different about you. You know, now we've talked to you for the last few years and whatnot. The
Yeah,
confidence that you were oozing, like you were almost kind of like, I felt like you were like almost, you weren't mocking him or the media, but there was a thing
yeah,
like, now what? Like you were just kind of,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like someone said to you,
yeah,
what's your prediction if you fight Belal? And you said Belal by decision. Like, I don't need to even entertain these stupid questions.
yeah,
There was
yeah,
just a
yeah,
vibe about you that was
yeah.
different. Is that
Yeah.
accurate?
Yeah, well, because Leon, to be fair, he was kind of like I don't know what's his deal, but we did the first. I'm super respectful. My wife thinks she hates it. Like I'm hugging dudes at the weigh-ins, dapping them up. Like it is what it is to me. I can be your friend and go and try to kill you, but we did a face off at the O2, and it literally took 5 seconds. But like when we did it, we walked up to each other, and obviously, bro, I'm not 6 foot. I'm not 6'2". I'm 5'9". Like I've never been tall. But he walked up to me, and he said something. He was asking me about my height, and I was like, he was like, "How tall are you? 5'8", 5'9"?" Like he was being a dickhead. And I was like, I'm 5'9". And I was like, what are you? I was like, what are you, 6'2"? I was like, you got them. I was like, you got those big shoes on, like just making a joke of it. And then we faced off for legit 5 seconds. Walked off. I don't know if it's his manager, his brother, like, and him were like, oh, this is super awkward. Like they said some stupid ass shit. And me and my team looked at him like, yo, you're in London, like this is your fight week, like you're bitching about having to do some little ass media, like it just from that point from there on, I'm like, yo, I'm not touching this dude's hand. If he tries some stupid, because I seen him try stupid shit at the weigh-ins, I was like, I'm gonna give it right back to this motherfucker, and that's why at the weigh-ins. I didn't go like I always shake everyone's hand. I didn't touch his hand. I didn't have social media, so I didn't see his interviews, but I seen him like saying he walked up at the O2. He didn't know where I was at because I was so short. So I posted a picture of me on top of him, mauling him, like putting like just laughing. Like I would never. I'm respectful. Like GSP's my favorite fighter. always respected guys, but when you're an asshole like that, like don't like I can give it right back. So personally, fuck Leon, fuck him and his whole team, and that's how I feel about the whole situation.
Did he say anything to you after the fight?
And that made it even worse because I went up to him. I'm like, yo, man, like trying to, I'm like, you're a great champion, blah, blah, blah. He just like kind of like brushed me off. Like, obviously he's upset, but even his whole team, like, I try to like say what's up, and they were corny as shit too. So it was just whack. My team, my coaches didn't even go over there. Like, fuck that. Like, we're not saying shit to these dudes. And then even before they raised my hand, I tried to like touch him behind Jason Herzog, and he's just salty. And then seeing all the shit he was saying about me throughout the week, I'm like, all right, I wish I was even fucking meaner to this dude. And that's why like I posted this shit about the headshot dead and them not having guns in London. Because now I'm going to make fun of you and I'm going to poke at you because you're a fucking asshole. So maybe Bilal was right about him. He's all butthurt about all kinds of shit. So I don't know.
Man, yeah, I saw that and I was like, ah, this is a different side of Sean.
Yeah,
We've not
yeah.
seen you this fired up.
I'm listen. Me, that's what we do. We roast each other. We make fun of each other. I'm like, if you want to do that, even because I've seen him put the gun to people's heads at weigh-ins. I was like, if he puts that stupid ass water pistol to my head at weigh-ins, I'm gonna slap the fucking shit out of his hand. So I was ready for all of it, and that's why when we did the face off, I walked right up, and my nose was like on his lip. And then he wasn't looking at me. I'm like, you're not looking at me. I'm like, you're gonna be looking at me tomorrow. So hey, he's somewhere crying in London right now, and I'm back, happy man in Philly.
I thought it was interesting. It didn't seem like you felt like you needed to campaign or call out Bilal. It seems like you feel like the work has
Yeah,
proved its point.
yeah, yeah. If you see, and then if you go look at that, because people were asking me about that, they were asking me about the number one contender all week, and Leon's talking about it, and I'm like, I have to go fight Leon. Leon, and listen, whatever beef I have with Leon, he's an amazing fighter, and I took him so serious. You think I went to get head kicked, like Kamaru did? Like, like that was a real possibility. Like he can do that to anybody. So I took him super serious. I wasn't looking past him at all. Wasn't thinking about Bilal. Wasn't thinking about number one contender. But now afterwards, if you see the way I did Leon, no one's beat him that way. No one's submitted him. No one's dominated him the way I did. Even when Bilal beat him, he lost a couple rounds. Leon took him down and had his back. So I did it better than anybody. Bilal said that he wrote the game, the blueprint. Like I did it better. I did it way better than him. And in 2022, good on Bilal. He got the best of me. But when we do fight, it's going to be a completely different story.
Who will your next opponent be against?
That's where it gets interesting. Could be me versus Shavkat because I don't know what they're going to do with him. Are they? You know how it is. They say you might fight for the belt next, but you never know. So I could see me and him number one contender, or the loser. Like if Bilal lost to Jack somehow, like I would love to fight him right then. If Bilal wins, I would love to fight him. But if they want me to fight for the belt, whoever wins, obviously I'm going to do that. But I don't think there's a need for me to take a back step. Like I seen someone tweeting about me and Usman. I'm like, that's the fight I did want. Now I just went and beat the guy who beat him twice
Hmm.
and finished him. So I just set myself up great. Like, yeah, I'm in an amazing spot. So I'm not going to take any stupid fights. I think the UFC is probably very happy with me and what I did for them and going out there and taking this fight on short notice because there wasn't many other options. And yeah, so we'll see what happens.
How quickly do you want to return? Hey there, sorry to interrupt. Just want to remind you, if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it very much. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up too. You know, we've got live shows, interviews, clips, and a whole lot more going on this here channel. All right, now back to the show.
I don't know. I'd say like summertime probably because that's like 4 or 5 months from now. Like obviously I didn't have any like we always have small little nagging injuries, so like I'll take a couple weeks, get my body better, spend some time with my daughter, and then see what they say. If they say they want me to fight Shavkat for the number one contender, we could do that. And then depending on what happens with the title. So I think some things have to play out first. But I definitely want to fight multiple times this year. Like it felt so good to get a fight in this early in the year, not waiting around for anything. Yeah, it just I feel like my ball is rolling really good right now, and I definitely want to keep it going.
Do you think there's any chance we've seen people have title shots scheduled, get hurt, get cut. Charles Oliveira, it happened to recently, and then they lose the title shot. Do you think there's any chance your next fight is for the belt? You're fighting the winner of Belal JDM.
I think it could be. I mean, if you look at the last guys I beat versus the last guys Shavkat beat, like I think my resume, like beating Gilbert and then beating Leon Edwards versus he beat Wonder Boy and then he beat Ian Gary in a very like not great fight. So I think just off that I could get it, but I'm also not rushing that either. If I have to fight again before that, that's fine, but it just has to make sense.
And so just curious, just want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying. Is it title shot, meaning a fight against Belal, or if Belal loses, or number one contender fight against Shavkat? Basically, is it winner of that
Yeah.
fight, Belal or Shavkat, that you're interested in next?
Yeah, I mean, I would be interested in the loser of the title fight. I'd be
Yeah.
interested in the winner of the title fight, or I'd be
Or
interested
Shavkat.
in Shavkat. Yeah.
Okay. The other one I
I
was
think those options. I think those options make the most sense. Like if you look at the rankings, and they're not out yet, but I mean, the way they should work, I was 5, Leon's 1. I should be 1 on Tuesday morning. So we'll
Yep.
see how that shakes out.
What about the one that you had called out after the Gilbert win, Ian Machado Gary?
That's like now it's like no, like yeah, no, like I went out there, I took this out. I heard he was bitching that he didn't get the fight with
Yeah,
Bilal.
he
I
was
said,
very
bro, you
upset.
lost your fight. What are you talking about? Like you don't get like you came in second place. You don't get to get rewarded for that. Like it made the most sense for it to be Jack. So but yeah, he's number 7 at this point and lost his last fight. I won my last 3, just beat a former champion, who was a really good champion. So yeah, I got bigger things going on than Ian Machado Gary.
Is it better for you if Bilal wins in May or if he loses? What do you think's better for your case to fight for the belt?
That's a tough one. I think if he wins, but like I said, either way, I want that fight. If he wins, I want to fight him, or if I have to fight him to get to the belt, I want to fight Bilal. And it's nothing against him; it's just me as a competitor. I think we'll have a great second fight. Now there's a storyline to that fight. It'd be a good build up, and I think I see a lot of people online saying that they'd be very interested in it.
Um, I know you've been traveling and you don't want to leave the family. It is in 2 months. Just like a little. You probably thought of this already, but you sitting in the front row in Montreal, just kind of like making your presence felt. I feel like
Oh,
would be
I'm
a really
going. Lloyd already texted me. He said
you,
we have to go to
you should
Montreal,
go. Yeah,
and that's a quick flight. I think it's only like an hour and a half from Philly, or 2 hours. It's not bad.
it's also the best city in the world. I don't know if you've ever been to Montreal. I am from
I've never
Montreal.
been to Canada.
Oh, bro, you
So
never been to
hopefully,
Canada?
people have been saying they said a lot of good things about London, and I was not impressed. I was not. Me and my team were like, we were almost kissing the ground once
Oh,
we hit American soil, boy. We couldn't wait to get home. But nah, I mean, Lloyd did tell. He's like, we'll be in Montreal. I'm pretty sure we'll be in Montreal
I'll
for
give you
sure.
guys the spots. You got to get some
All
smoked
right.
meat. You got to get some bagels, some poutine. Like you
Is
got to
that
do
where
it
you're
right.
from?
That's where I'm from. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't love, Canadians Flyers. There's a bit of a history there,
I
but
got you. I got you.
we'll treat you
You,
well.
you want a little drop of something cool that happened to me last night?
Yes.
So GSP is my favorite fighter. Like I love George St. Pierre. I remember being a little kid, like not a little kid, but like a teenager watching him fight. I'm like, man, like he is the coolest guy ever. Like I want to be just like him when I'm a fighter, and just model my whole career off of him. And he texted Dean Thomas and said something about me, and so I found
Oh,
that out on the plane coming home. And then last night while I'm feeding my daughter, I was looking through Instagram and I seen he followed me on Instagram. So
oh,
that was I know he's Canadian, but that one hit me home. So if GSP hears this, you're the man.
the freaking man. You gotta
Oh, he's
slide
the
in the
best.
DMs.
He's the I'll slide in his DMs. I'll go. I want to train with him. I truly think he's like one of the best minds to ever do it. Obviously I was a Henzo Gracie guy. He was a Henzo Gracie guy. He still trains with Gordon. So I definitely would love to get down to Texas and get with those guys and get some training with him. But yeah, he's amazing. He's same thing. Like he was probably a little bit taller than me. Wasn't the biggest, tallest guy for 170, but he made it work. He'd never wrestled in high school. I never wrestled in high school. He would dominate all these guys, and I think that I'm trying to follow in his footsteps.
He's also one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in any walk of life.
Yeah.
And you are as well. And so I will actually say that the comparisons go one step further. I was saying this when we did our post show on Saturday. His first loss was against Matt Hughes. Now that was for the belt, so a little bit different. But then he avenged it in the rematch and beat him. It almost feels like you and Belal here, right? Very similar. Like it was a little too early for him.
Yes.
Like you've said, it was a little too early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot there.
There's a story there. So and I always said it after that loss to him, I'm like, it's all going to come around, and it took a while, which sucked. And a lot of people wrote me off after the Belal loss because no one gave Belal the credit that he deserves. I still see it, like people are like, this dude, how is he this good, but he got TKO by Belal? Listen, you have one night to go in there and be on 100%, and sometimes it's not your night. Like people show up to work every day and feel like shit. We have to go out there and perform to the best of our abilities. And sometimes it's just not your night. And that's the way things go. And October 22nd in Abu Dhabi, that was not my night. But the next time we fight, it definitely is going to go a different way.
March 24th, 2026, exactly 1 year from now. Where do you think you're at?
I'm UFC champion, 100%. I truly believe that. If it's not by the end of this year, it'll definitely be by early next year. I'm going to be UFC champion.
Can I ask, what do you think happens to Leon now? I know you don't necessarily care for him all that much, but the question is like, is he?
Yeah.
Is that it? He's just 33. He's not that old, but
no, he's going to bounce back. He's a great fighter. I would like to see him. I would like to see him versus Ian, him versus somebody like that. It might actually work out better for him that he might get to take a step back in competition, not in competition a little bit, but maybe get like a better stylistic fight for him. But you say that, and he's done really well against a lot of grapplers. So yeah, I don't know. I think he beats Ian. I think he still beats a lot of these guys in the division. He's gotta not look past them and think about other things. Focus on who you're fighting, bro.
By the way, can I ask you, right after the fight, you went to Dana, I think Dana and Hunter, and you said something.
Yeah.
What did you say to them?
Just thank you for the opportunity. I mean, it was huge, for me to. I think this is the fight that really, really put me on the map. My social media's blowing up. Everything's just blowing up, and it's just like money, everything. It just worked out really, really well for me and my family, and it sets me up for a lot of good things. So I just told them, hey, thank you guys for the opportunity. I know that in the past I probably wasn't the person to do things like this, but they called on me on short notice, and I did them that favor. And I just want them to know, like, I'm here to fight, and just let them know, like, yeah, let's go.
And by the way, is that the new clothing line there that you're repping?
No, this is just an Eagles hoodie, but yeah, my stuff's the one that was in the picture with the crew neck with the eagle on it. Yeah, Fuel Hunt. Grit and Guillotines is my my line by Fuel Hunt. So yeah, thank you guys for throwing that up there.
Oh, so that's your line under another line.
Yeah, so Fuel Hunt is the company. Grit and Guillotines is my line under them. So anything that has it looks like my back tattoo. It's a little Japanese Hanya mask. Anything that has Grit and Guillotines with that Hanya mask from Fuel Hunt is mine.
Amazing. And so right now, no, you're just gonna chill, right? Nothing. You're not doing anything. Now you're full on.
Yeah. I'm gonna work out and do things at home, but for at least 1 week, no training. I think, and that's something I need to wear just to decompress. Like to fight, like I didn't get hit or anything crazy, but you're sore afterward from cutting weight, training all week. Cause like I train up until the weight cut. So we're training twice a day up until the weight cut, traveling back, like going there. I went on a flight overnight. So I slept, which was great. But coming back yesterday, I was on such a high. I didn't sleep for like almost 2 days. Like last night I slept a couple hours. I'm still just like on cloud nine. So yeah, my body's just adjusting back to getting on time. And like I feel bad for my coaches though. Like they have Joey Pfeiffer in Mexico City. So they're flying to Mexico in 2 days. And then they have to go back to Vegas the following week for Pat Sabatini. So these guys are heroes in my book.
Well, that's all well and good that you got this out of the way and that you're feeling good and that you're healthy, because there's a boy back there who's been talking a whole lot of shit about you. GC, the floor is yours.
Crazy. GC,
don't really have anything to say, man.
Did you see the pace I put on this man? What do you think I'm going to do to your Peloton when I get on that?
I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it, for the Aviron. Everyone keeps saying I'm going to get submitted in mile 1. I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready. I'm going to let you enjoy this. Congratulations. Unbelievable performance. I'm going to let you enjoy this.
I seen your comment. You're the man. I appreciate it.
I'm not going to take away from the spotlight here. Enjoy this, but know that I'm waiting. I'm ready to take your shine away whenever you want me to take it.
This is going to happen.
We need to set the date.
I'm going to have to come up.
He's accusing you of ducking. He accused you of taking this fight to duck him. Could you believe it?
This is actual ducking. I mean, everybody does know it. You went to London. You left the country to get away from me, Sean.
It's going to happen. We're going to set it up. I have to avenge some of my boys who you're beating out there.
Oh, wow.
So
change a couple diapers, flip through the calendar, and we'll pick a date.
Sounds good.
Wow, them's fighting words. I like it.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, Sean, whenever you're ready, we'll be here waiting. You're the man. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Really, really, really happy for you.
Thank you, Ariel. You're the best in the business. Thank you. I really appreciate you doing what you do, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. All the best. There he is, the great Sean Brady. Makes a strong case for number 1 contender. Let's see what happens to him here, but he is that guy. What do you think of that? What do you think? Do you feel good about that, GC, or do you still think that he's kind of like...
Seemed a little non-committal.
Yeah.
Seemed like he's not in. I mean, we talk about the pace he puts on Leon. Come on. I mean,
could you imagine if he does come here and you beat him? Like the feather in your cap.
I'll retire. I'll retire.
We just got him to say Aviron.
I mean, he did put on an insane pace.
Yeah,
it was terrifying. I was sitting there watching. I was like, what did I get myself into?
His freaking back with the tattoo.
Yeah, intimidating.
It's scary. All right, well, I can't wait for that. That would be an incredible scene. Congratulations to him. What a time. And it's really cool to see he's really coming into his own. He's coming into his personality, the confidence. Gosh, he's come a long way. And amazing to think he didn't wrestle. He didn't wrestle in high school. Like he is really kind of like GSP. He's the American GSP. What a guy. That's Sean Brady. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.